Diabetes blood sugar control, time in range.
1. What is time in range? Time in range (TIR) is the rate of time that a person spends with their blood glucose levels in a point range. General guidelines suggest starting with a range of 70 to 180 mg per deciliter. Over time, some people choose to aim for a shorter range, such as 70 to 140 mg per deciliter. 2. Why is time in range important? TIR goes beyond A1C in drawing blood glucose levels because it captures variation, the highs, lows, and in-range values that characterize life with diabetes. By contrast, A1C is a measure of average blood sugar over a 2 to 3 month period. It cannot capture time spent in various blood glucose ranges. Picture people living with diabetes experience different energy levels, moods, and overall quality of life when they are in range versus out of range. Time in range can capture these differences in a way A1C cannot. 3. Time in range objects. In general, people with diabetes should aim to spend as much time in range as possible, taking care to avoid low blood sugars and too much burden. Experts emphasize that even a 5% change in time in range, for example, going from 60% to 65%, is meaningful, as that translates to 1 more hour per day spent in range. Consistent, in-range blood glucose levels are sometimes called flat narrow, in-range FNIR. This is one way to think about ideal blood sugars, high time in range and flat glucose levels with few ups and downs. People with type 1 or type 2 diabetes can aim for FNIR. On a day with FNIR levels, ask, what made that possible? How can I have more days like that? 4. How to scale TIR. To determine your TIR, you should use at least 14 days' worth of blood glucose data. TIR is most perfectly measured using a continuous glucose meter (CGM), although a blood glucose meter (BGM) can also be used. With a BGM, the more fingersticks you take throughout the day, the better the picture you'll get of your TIR. Make sure to get treatments over at least 2 weeks, ideally with some fingersticks taken after meals and overnight. You can like, share and subscribe.